In the case of Lauren Smith Fields, there are far more questions than answers.
It's killing me inside. I miss my baby.
We know that my daughter was not a drug user.
Lauren was a young and active YouTuber, Instagrammer, and TikToker in her prime.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel.
Like when she walks into a room, she lit up the whole room.
A former track athlete, this beautiful Black woman was found dead in her apartment after a Bumble date the night before. On the morning of December 12th, the Bridgeport police received a report from a 37-year-old white male
911, what's your emergency, please?
About an unresponsive female at the Smith Fields residence. When police arrived, they found 23-year-old Lauren, prone, laying unceremoniously on the floor of her home with blood around her right nostril.
On that day, my whole world came crashing down around me, knowing that my daughter was found lifeless in her apartment.
The white male, who admitted to only meeting Lauren 3 days before, told police he had met the deceased woman through the dating app Bumble. According to him, they had spent the night at Lauren's residence drinking shots of tequila, playing games, and watching movies. At some point during the night, Lauren took ill after drinking large quantities of tequila and ended up vomiting. She recovered and kept going. During the night, Lauren's brother showed up to collect items of clothing left at the apartment. After speaking to him, Lauren disappeared to the bathroom for 15 minutes. The man told police that after the young woman fell asleep on the couch, he placed her in bed and fell asleep beside her. Upon waking, he noticed she was lying on her side and blood was emanating from her nostril onto the bedsheets. On arrival, medics pronounced Lauren dead. She had been dead for at least an hour or more. In a strange turn of events, police proceeded not to notify Lauren's family of her death. When her family failed to get into contact with her, they made a visit to her home and found a note on the deceased's door for them to contact the landlord. When they contacted police, the family described their treatment as dismissive and rude.
The contact that we have had was from a very insensitive, condescending, and arrogant detective.
It was careless. It was no concern. There was no care for the family about how we felt.
Police claimed not to find anything suspicious at the scene, and there was no evidence of blunt force trauma. Family members have alleged poor handling of the case, as police even refused to interview the suspicious man found next to the deceased or evaluate evidence in the apartment in a timely manner. After inspecting the apartment, the family found a used condom, a sedative pill, a blood-stained sheet, and an overturned plate. The family alleges that the first detective assigned to the case told them to stop calling to ask about the investigation, and at one point hung up on Lauren's father. Even stranger, a posthumous examination of the deceased found a lethal mixture of fentanyl, the opioid found in Michael Jackson's system, promethazine and hydroxyzine, antihistamines that can be used as sedatives, and alcohol. However, Lauren's family maintains that she has had no history of drug abuse, and her date, who police coined a nice guy, never mentioned the use of any substances other than tequila.
Perception is that my daughter was on drugs. She was not on drugs. Lauren worked out every day. She was on a plant-based diet. She went to college.
Then they have a couple other drugs they found in her system that are typically associated with date rape drugs.
While Lauren's death has been blamed on an accidental overdose, the Connecticut Office of the Chief Medical Examiner has stated that there is room for doubt. Date rape drugs are typically odorless, colorless, and tasteless, and leave the body quickly. Over the years, there have been numerous cases of women meeting unscrupulous attackers via dating platforms. So how did Lauren Smith Fields die? And is this another case of police injustice, turning a blind eye to the suffering and plight of Black women and their families? Let me know what you think in the comments.